Okay, so hey everyone, welcome back to Python 101. And today we're on week 2, and if time permits, we're going to do part 1 and part 2 because part 2 is just like 3 slides. So I want to begin by saying there's a Google Classroom, and if you have any questions, you can ask them here. When we get more advanced into stuff, we're going to have some cool little projects and we're gonna make games. So yay. So here's the code. Once again, this is the code. So SPQ3WPR. If you haven't joined, so let's see. Quentin, what was the name? Sorry, Joshua and Chichi all joined, but I think there's 3 more of you that haven't joined, so please join if you want. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna give you 2 to 3 minutes to join. The code's here. All you have to do is type it in to the Google Classroom. If you don't know how to do it, just raise your hand. Does anyone not know how to do it? Okay. So once again, this is the code, and I'm just gonna annotate that. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put this here, so anytime during the class you can join. And I'm gonna check on. Okay, so 5 people are in. I think there's one more person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I'm just gonna. I can't count. All right, so we're gonna start with a small review, and so variables. Okay, so let's see. Ross, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I'm gonna unmute you.
Okay.
Okay, so Ross, can you tell me what a variable is?
A variable are like placeholders. They can contain multiple types of information. Variable can contain
Okay,
integer.
so can you say it again?
Variables are placeholders. Some of them can contain integers.
Can you guys hear Ross? If you guys can hear Ross, just raise your hand, because there's probably something wrong here. Okay, so you guys.
Okay, do I restart?
Okay, thank you. Ross, would you care to speak again?
Okay, variables are placeholders.
I can see that you're talking, but I think that will sound.
Y'all.
What's going on? How about now?
Okay, now, okay, let's go.
Oh, there we go, there we go.
Okay, you can hear me? Let's go. Variables are placeholders. They can contain integers, strings, and booleans. Integers, they're whole numbers. Then strings are strings of letters and.
Oh, okay. So that was gonna be integers and strings were gonna be the next question. But really, thank you, Ross. So here they are. I'm gonna make you. So variables are placeholders and can be changed anytime. So Ross was right. Integers are whole numbers, can be negative. Ross was also right. And strings are a bunch of characters inside quotation marks. Don't forget the quotation marks, or else they're just random things. All right. So without looking, can anyone tell me what a list is? Joshua. Joshua, can you tell me what a list is?
A list is, isn't it? It's similar to a variable, but it can be changed.
Yeah, I can.
It's usually like a list, so it can be like in sequence. So
yeah. So let's. What's the defining characteristic of a list?
You can list multiple things,
No.
and
What makes it apart from tuples and dictionaries? What makes it different?
it can be changed.
Dictionaries can be changed too, but if you don't know, you can just tell me. And
I don't think I remember.
okay, thank you. Ross, yes, Ross.
Lists they can be changed. Tuples they can be changed. Dictionaries they have they're like the
Wait, hold on. But like what I asked was what makes lists different from tuples and dictionaries? Like what?
dictionaries have two parts in each value. They have two parts. They have a name then a value. Tuples cannot be changed, and a list is like both of them. They can be changed. They can be changed, and they're only one thing.
Actually, I was okay. That's kind of like recircling around what Joshua said. So I'll see if anyone else knows the answer. So, Yu Ying, do you know what makes lists different from tuples and dictionaries? Can you unmute? Okay. Can you? Okay, I'll just mute you for now. If Ying, okay, wait. So Ying, if you know the answer, just raise your hand anytime. All right, next, Quentin, do you know what's the main difference, like the defining characteristics of a list? Can you unmute yourself? Okay.
I forgot.
Okay, thank you. That was a very good answer. Very good answer. Okay. Lacey, you're new, so I don't think you were in last class. Do you know what's the main difference between the list and a bunch and the other types of kind of thing?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so apparently all of you forgot, but it's okay. I'll talk about it again. So lists, they have brackets, okay, like brackets, okay? Brackets. If you see this, you will know it's a list, okay, guys? So make sure you note that down. So list equals brackets. Brackets equals list. Okay, so it starts with lists. And you can, and like last time I showed you, you can have a 1 here, and you can just have, if X equals leaf of Bulbasaur, and then you could just put X in there. All right, guys, just make sure you note that down. I hope you guys don't forget next lesson because I'm gonna quiz you on that, and whoever doesn't get it right will be spanked. I'm kidding. Don't sue me. All right, so now that you guys saw it anyway, so tuple, like some of you said was right. So you can't change tuples, but its main characteristic is parentheses. Okay, if you see a parentheses but encircled as a list liking thing, then it's a tuple. And last but not least, dictionaries. Dictionaries, well, Ross said it right. It has a key and a value. Key, value, by the way, sub to PewDiePie. All right, but its main characteristics, well, it has 2 main characteristics. The first is key and value. The second is curly braces. so without looking, Ross, now can you tell me what's the difference? What's the main characteristic of a list?
It has how those things brackets.
Okay, everyone repeat after me. List has brackets.
List has
Okay, thank you very
List
much.
has brackets.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. And tuples have parentheses. Make sure you note that down on your notebook or the diary or something. Just make sure you know that. So now we're gonna move on to the fun or new stuff. Print. Print is a function that, well, you know, if you want to make Python return something, like you want to do this, print. This is a string formatted insert. Well, you just use print. That's pretty simple. And I found that Jupyter Notebook accepts emojis, so you can do that. Anyway, can you all see my screen? Okay, you can. And by the way, the code is still here, just in case. New. So if all of you remember, if you want to open Jupyter Notebook, you press ANA, and it should have Anaconda. You open that up, and then you just open the Jupyter Notebook. Now, if you want to have a new notebook, you just press New and Python 3, because that's the one you're using. Now, I know some, Lacey, do you know how to install the Jupyter Notebook?
No.
That's okay. We're not gonna use class time for this. So if you joined my classroom, no, that's not my account. So if you join my classroom, I post all the live lessons every time, so you can rewatch the previous 2 lessons. And if any of you missed any lessons, you could just go here. And this is the first lesson is where we installed Jupyter Notebook. So right now you can just follow along. I mean, I know, I hate it when the teacher says follow along, but right now we really need to move on. Okay, so first things first, title your thing. Now, print. So you can print a string. And remember, if you want to run this block, you could just either press run or you could do shift enter. So this is going to return string. But what if you want to use a variable? Well, remember, variable can have integers and variables can have strings. And if you want to print X and then print Y, it works. Oops. Okay. Now, if you want to put strings or add 2 strings or make print X and Y, you could do print X plus 1. Oops, you have to put str. Because remember, this is a string, okay? No, I mean, this is an integer, okay? If you want to make them together, then you can just put that str, which stands for string, around the X, or else it's not going to let you do that. So as you can see, previously I just did this and it looks nasty, okay? 2 strings. So if you want to add a space in between, you could just add space. oops, space. So does anyone have any questions so far? Or do you think I'm speaking too quickly? If you think I am, just raise your hand. Oh, my mouse disappeared. Oh yes, Ross, do you have a question?
Yeah, it's about that. Can you make blank variables? It could be useful for something.
Yeah, you could just make it you could just make the string as a space bar.
No, I mean not spacebar, like literally nothing. Not zero, not null, not a space, like nothing.
No, because you have to do it as something. But if you want to do it as 0, you can change it anytime. So really, anything is equal to nothing because you can change it. You understand?
Yeah.
So really, if you want to do this, and in the future you're like, hey, I'm not 0 years old, I want to change this. And then I was like, I'm 99 years old. And then if you do X, it's no longer 0, but 99. So as you can see, variables are basically just changeable things. So any other questions, Ross?
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, good answer. I'm gonna lower your hand for you. And there we go. All right. Also, you don't have to print. You could just call it. So yeah, and if you want to find what type it is, so you could just do type X. It's a string. But here, if you change it to 0, when if you accidentally do extra, you could just, which one did I? You could just click on this and then cut it. Okay, there we go. All right, so now if we check type X, hold on, let me do X equals 0. And if you do type X, it's an integer. So that's why you can't really do that together. You have to put strum in front of it. All right, anyone have a question? No? Okay. Good. Oh, Ross raised, okay. Ross, you can unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Like, I know that strings are str and integers are int. What do booleans spells out? How do
BOOL. It's I haven't gone to booleans yet, but it's just BOOL.
Okay, thanks.
But I mean, like, booleans are just true and false, so you can't really bool an integer. Like bool 0 equals true. That would be funny. All right. If you go, okay. So last time we went over comments. Comments, you can just use hashtag, and then it just Python doesn't run it. And if you're using Jupyter Notebook, it's gonna give you this color. And as you can see, it doesn't give me an error because Python doesn't read it. It's just that simple. I mean, it's not really. It is kind of simple. So comments are just like, you want to tell people what this code is for, or you just remember it. You're like, you just tell yourself, you remind yourself what this code is for. Next up, booleans. Yes, there's true and false, and make sure you capitalize the first thing, okay? Or else it's just gonna do random stuff. It's not a boolean if it's not capitalized the first letter. Make sure you note that in your journal or diary or whatever you're using right now. And make sure you do it, make sure you do it. All right. Make sure you capitalize. Does anyone have a question? Okay, so so you can do a Boolean like, oops. So if you try 9 is 9, so when you write that, you basically just ask Python, is 9 equal to 9? And then Python's gonna return true. Now, what I just did was I accidentally forgot to write the second equal. Who's high? Who's high? Hey, hi, who are you? Okay, you know, I'm just gonna, I don't know who you are, so I'm just gonna, bye-bye. Okay, so I had no idea who that was. Anyway, I'm gonna close the meeting room, just in case. Okay, so what you just witnessed was I tried to assign 9 to 9. As you can see, I can't assign to literal. So big mistake there. And if I try to do 10, it's gonna say false because 9 does not equal 10. Unless you are on Mars, then 9 would possibly equal 10. All right? That was a joke. Don't. Okay. And then if you can say if 9 equals 9, which returns true, print high. So that just prints high if it's true. And if 9 equals 10, print high, it's not gonna print anything because it's false. So that's something you got there. Oh, and if you think I speak too quickly, you could just, I will always put it on YouTube. And in YouTube, you have the option to make the speed half as slow or 0.7 times slower. So yeah, subscribe to me. Next up is floats. Floats are basically numbers with decimals, like 1.2, 1.234, 1.234, 1.234 point, and then 3 point. Anyway, so they're just like decimals. And if you try to do type 1.3, it's gonna say float. And if you're anytime if you're unsure what type of thing it is, you just do type and then whatever you want. And this isn't anything. Okay. Oh, and by the way, print. I'm sorry, I forgot to say you can also print. You can print tuples, lists, and dictionaries. I forgot to say that. I'm so sorry, guys. There's a lot of stuff to cover. So I'm just gonna make one really quick. And then you can also print. You can either print X or you could call X, okay? And then if you do type X, it's gonna say list. Same thing for tuple, I'm just gonna change that. Remember, key difference, okay? Key difference, boys, and girls. So now it's gonna say tuple, very different. And dictionaries, I'm too lazy. You know, I'm just gonna make it. If you guys have any questions so far, feel free to raise your hand, okay? Ross is the only one who's raised his hand so far, okay? If you guys just need help, just please raise your hand. I can't see you. All right, so, and now, well, Okay, hold on, I'm gonna have to. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I forgot to change the curly braces. Okay, Okay, and if we print that, it becomes a dictionary. But here it's gonna say dict because you know Python is lazy and so am I. And we have comparison operators. So here are a little bit of comparison operators. So anyone, okay, let's see. Josh. Can you tell me what all of those operators mean?
So you want me to go from top to bottom?
Sure, it's just a bit, but sure.
Greater than, less than, equal to or greater than, equal to or less than,
Actually, you could just say greater than equal to. It's the same thing.
not equal to, equal to.
The last one is supposed to define it. That was kind of a question, but but yeah. So hint. Thank you, Joshua. You did a good job. Hint. What's it called? I forgot what that thing is called. Can anyone just remind me what this thing is called?
Exclamation mark.
Okay, thank you. The exclamation mark means not. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Okay, so remember how I said you could do this as a Boolean? Well, guess what? You can do this too. So 9 greater than 0. True. 9 greater than equal to 9. True. 9 smaller than 0. False. Okay? And you can also do not equal to 0. It's going to return true. And then last but not least, we did actually, did we do smaller than equal to? False. Okay, so these are just what's really hard about making this lesson is because Python is intertwined. So when I try to teach like variables, I have to teach integers, and when I teach integers, I have to teach lists and so on. So that's why I'm weaving. It's like weaving. All right, so when I said if we had time, we would go on to week 2, part 2, and remember the code is still here. Okay, so you know what? This is pretty easy, so we're just gonna go over that. Control flow. So what is control flow? So I did an if statement with you guys. So well, I didn't do it with you guys. I did it for you guys. So it was just if 9 is greater than 10, then print high. Well, it didn't print highs because 9 isn't equal to 10. For example, this is an example in English, not in Python. So if my cat is hungry, some condition, so this is some condition, then I will feed the cat. And then feeding the cat is the action. So it's like grammar, but grammar sucks, so we're not going to talk about grammar. So let's see here. Oh, and the first thing I did with you guys was, I have no idea where I put it. No, that's, I think it was this one. By the way, guys, is it okay if I extend like 1 minute over 7? Anyway, so here we are. So this is when we defined a function, and here we are. So if your age is over 18 years old, then print haha. And here, see, I did string concoctation. And then else, this is print. So yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of control flow. So you control the flow of Python. And here we're gonna do x equals, I'm gonna do one real quick, input. Okay, so how old are you? And then here I'm gonna say if x greater or equal to 9 print else you just print okay. And how old are you? Let's see. Lucy, how old are you? Or Lacey, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Lacey, how old are you?
11.
11. Oh, you're 11. Oh, okay. Oops. And then here you see, I forgot to make this an integer. Hold on. And here you can see a very common error saying I forgot to turn this into an integer. Because, you know, only integers are allowed to do that. And remember, if we, last time we checked, if we just do the raw input, then it's a string. But if you want to change that into an integer, you use int. Very smart. And this doesn't seem right. Let's make that 18. 11. Okay. So control flow. Yeah, indentation. Make sure you indent it well, or else it's not gonna work. If you do this, it's not gonna work. Yeah, and then it has to be a base 10. This is like a base 90,000 billion. Anyway, so that's kind of the end for that. If you want more of this, and you know, just please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I only have 54 subscribers. But guys, please, I'm begging you. So basically, if you want to do that, you just go to youtube.com. You search up TheChomania. That's Teachomania. And here I am. I post the regular Python things, and I post random things I make, like my schoolwork. And there's going to be a red button right here, and all you have to do is click it and turn on the bell. Okay, thank you all so much for attending my lecture, and I'll see you next week. Do any of you have questions or how to get in my how to get in the Google? Okay, Ross, yes, you have a question?
Yeah. What does the bell do? I heard lots of YouTubers tell
Yes.
it.
Oh, the bell is just, it's gonna remind you when I post a new video.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, that's good. Anyone else have a question? I'm gonna lower your hand for now. Okay. Okay, apparently no question. So yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next week. Same time, make sure you arrive 5 minutes early like Ross did. Good, oh wait, Ross? Yeah, like Ross did. Good job, Ross. You did 10 minutes early. Good job, very good job. You deserve some pizza. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye.